兄弟们啊，伊朗这边又来大消息了啊！
Guys, big news from Iran. Iranian state TV just reported that Iran's missile defense has shot down another American fighter jet today. Isn't that impressive, guys? Just a couple of days ago, 2 jets were taken down, and now another one. The first could have been luck. The second might have been a coincidence. But what about the third? Iran is powerful. Iran is dominating.
伊朗堪称战神。
Iran is truly a war god, shattering the myth of the US military one by one. Another F-16 has been blown up by Iran. It fell from the sky. 6 top-tier American fighter jets, one after another, turned into scrap metal. Over 200 incoming aircraft were all grounded by Iran, wiped out in one sweep.
几乎所有的专家都在说
Nearly all experts are saying that Iran can't win militarily, but the Iranian Armed Forces are speaking out, saying all the era of the US plundering nations is over. The enemy has no choice but to surrender to the Iranian people.
Military experts worldwide all agree on one thing: Iran can't win. Yet in videos from Chinese military vloggers, Iran is either shooting down fighter jets or sinking aircraft carriers, with each claim endorsed as officially certified by the Iranian Armed Forces. For example, on March 23rd, Iran claimed to have shot down an F-15 fighter jet near Hormuz Island. Chinese Communist Party mouthpiece Xinhua News followed up with a report saying a U.S. fighter jet was hit and crashed in Kuwait. Independent media outlets even posted old footage from March 2nd, showing an F-15 drowned by friendly fire, presenting it as a new victory. What followed was a response from the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, which refuted these claims. CENTCOM stated that this was Iranian government propaganda and that no American fighter jet has been shot down by Iran. But in the nationalist Little Pink's world, none of this matters. They continue to claim victory, make noise, and pretend to lead from afar. Let's take a look at CCTV's stone-cold, composed anchor, delivered without any apparent hesitation or contradiction. The IRGC issued a statement announcing that in the 72nd wave of Operation True Commitment 4, it successfully struck targets related to the Israeli and U.S. Navy Fifth Fleet. The statement said the operation was successful. Iran's upgraded defense systems will secure even more victories in the future. The statement emphasized that no force should underestimate Iran's defense capabilities. This is a textbook example of distorting the truth. The truth is, Iran has long been a path of desperate survival. Its ability to fly or navigate at sea is now just a thing of the past. But according to CCTV, Iran is moving from one victory to the next. A user commented, "Under the bombardment of the Chinese people's mouth cannons, Israel and the U.S. have retreated completely. American imperialism can't hold on any longer. The situation is not just good, but great." This military vlogger with 500,000 followers made an even more exaggerated declaration.
Iran has totally won. With just one statement from the IRGC, they've got the US and Israel on the ropes. What are the US and Israel? When we say we control it, we control it.
But what this vlogger didn't mention is that the IRGC spokesperson, after making this speech, met his end the next day. Another user angrily said, "These scoundrels never speak the truth. They've been brainwashing the people in China all day, turning a country into a mental asylum. If there's one person still clear-headed and speaking the truth, they're immediately labeled as mentally ill." One user said, "I'm already looking forward to how our party will spin it when the so-called godly regime falls. Though the charlatans have fallen, they've won the people's hearts and gained global respect. US-led hegemony won't last." If the Iranian victory was just an appetizer, the following series of moves will truly showcase the strength of China's propaganda machine and its boundless imagination. Recently, Xinhua News released a video with the footage of the Dongfeng missile series, painted with a script in the style of poet Zhu Ziqing's Spring. Looking forward, the east wind has arrived and spring is near. This strange mix of a deadly weapon with a fresh literary tone tries to create an atmosphere of great national power, gentle and composed. However, the comment section quickly turned critical. One reply surged to the top. It said, "The stock market is turning green." This dark humor is something the poet himself might not have expected. Now, from science fiction to reality, the US-Iran war, with its gunfire, will first smash China's oil barrels. When global oil prices skyrocket due to geopolitical conflicts, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan activate fiscal subsidies, release strategic reserves, and take measures to suppress oil prices and ease the impact on people's livelihoods. Meanwhile, the CCP has chosen the most direct and efficient method, raising prices. So, on March 23, 2026, China's oil prices saw their sixth adjustment of the year, with the price of 92-octane gasoline entering a 9 yuan era. Car owners are now paying nearly 100 yuan more to fill their tanks. Heavy truck drivers in the logistics industry are facing an increase of more than 3,500 yuan in their monthly fuel costs. The entire society, from production to daily life, is being burdened by rising oil prices. But will China's state-run media report on the public struggles? Will they question why the state-owned oil companies, which belong to the people, aren't taking on more responsibility, instead of passing the costs on to everyone? That's a naive expectation. The CCP's propaganda machine is skilled at spinning any bad news into a positive story. Here's an example from Chinese state-run media. To reduce the burden on consumers, oil prices have been raised by only 85 cents per liter. Reading this, people might feel a sense of relief and deep gratitude, thinking, my country's amazing. Even though you're paying more, you should appreciate the sacrifices your government's made for you. It has faced immense pressure to secure this small reduction. It's a profound form of care, a high-level way of benefiting the people. Shouldn't you write a thank you letter or show your support for a government that always puts people first? Meanwhile, state-run media continues to express concern for the hardships of people in other countries. On March 16th, Global Times reported, U.S. oil prices are rising, placing a significant burden on the public. Many are saying they cannot accept further price hikes. On March 22nd, CCTV reported, rising oil prices would put huge pressure on Japan's economy. This is a familiar tactic, comparing one situation to others. It seems that proving other nations are worse off makes our own struggles seem less significant. However, people who think critically have raised an important question. If our media says Iran is our ally and won't target our oil tankers, why have oil prices barely risen in other countries, while ours keep climbing? Logically, our prices should be lower. This is the type of question that stumps the teacher. In a country where opinions take precedence over facts, logic is often considered forbidden. Once logic is applied, contradictions become glaring, and everything falls apart. When the propaganda machine continues to celebrate Iran's victory and the small increase in oil prices, China's A-share markets are struggling to stay above 3,000 points. Investors are facing significant losses, and social media is full of complaints. What should we do? I can't take it anymore. Even if we can't take it, we still have to hold on. Has Beijing joined the battle? Otherwise, why is the stock market falling like this? Meanwhile, a financial portal, Oriental Fortune Network, reposted an article. The article, citing Bridgewater Associates founder Ray Dalio's Suez Moment theory, claimed that U.S. hegemony is in decline. The world is shifting eastward, and the global energy landscape is being reshaped. It argued that this signals China's opportunity. It said, we are witnessing a historical turning point. The script of a new era has already changed its lead actor. Every word of the article conveys a sense of great power rise, as if reading it could easily turn losses into profits. The article serves as a clear example of presenting falsehoods while fully aware of the truth, and of detaching from reality to engage in self-congratulation. This time, however, the investors were not fooled by the comforting narrative. The comment section became a clear space for critical voices. When the A-shares rise, I'll believe what you say. Until then, everything else is nonsense. Imperialism is always in turmoil. They've never been the main players. Only a fool would say such absurd things. Another dreamer starts speaking. How much did you get paid for writing this? Is this childish? Stock investors only feel their principal is shrinking more and more. Don't talk to me about national fortune. Nothing wakes people up more than losing money. When grand narratives clash with personal financial losses, people will always trust their own experience. These investors, who have been cut time and time again in the stock market, have become some of the hardest people to deceive. Let's take a look. Let's now turn our attention to the Xiong'an New Area. It's a massive, silent monument built with trillions in real money, sitting on the northern plains of China. On March 23rd, Xiong'an's chief designer, Xi Jinping, finally left his base in Zhongnanhai after 4 months of silence. He visited the city of the future he personally planned and delivered an important speech. The speech covered many topics, but the core message was clear. The Central Party's decision to build Xiong'an New Area is absolutely correct actually means, if I say it's correct, it is, even if it's not. But what does Xiong'an really look like? One visitor, recording their shock, described it as follows: a grand airport-like train station with no one around, modern office buildings with vast empty spaces, lit only by scattered lights at night, wide, clean streets, so empty they could be used as mirrors, shopping malls with more attendants than customers. The whole city felt like a giant film set, carefully built but without any actors, a ghost town of prosperity. But in the face of the absolutely correct directive, all of this seems insignificant. In the comment section, the wisdom of the people once again stood out. Could his decision possibly not be completely correct? How dare you doubt it? He has pointed the way forward for how to build a ghost town and how to leave projects unfinished. You don't understand anything. Xiong'an New Area is a millennium-long plan. It will take 1,000 years to show its value. It's like buying a Hong Kong Seaview villa in the Song Dynasty. According to the CCP, the Great Famine of 1959 through 62, where 40 million people starved, is also considered correct. The Cultural Revolution was also correct. They think of themselves as gods. Stubborn fools. It's bad enough for them to eat shit, but now they're insisting it tastes good and forcing everyone else to eat it too. When a decision is declared to be absolutely correct, it has already moved beyond the realm of reality and entered the realm of theology. It no longer needs to be accountable for its results or subjected to any scrutiny. It simply requires faith and obedience. As for the trillions in investment and the countless people whose lives have been planned, they are just an insignificant cost in the grand blueprint of this Millennium Plan. At this point, one might wonder, are officials detached from reality? Do they really believe in absurdities like Iran being number one or the Xiong'an Millennium Plan? The answer is, of course not. Many are aware of the truth, perhaps even more than anyone else, as being inside the system gives them a clearer understanding of the situation. But the issue is, they're not allowed to speak out. The downfall of Zhou De-rui, former member of the Tianjin Municipal Party Standing Committee and Minister of the Organization Department, is a vivid lesson. This senior official, who held a law degree, wasn't caught embezzling billions or involved in a major scandal. His major offense, according to official reports, was making inappropriate comments about the central government. What did he say? Based on the details exposed, it was nothing more than a few honest comments at small-scale gatherings. Regarding common prosperity, he sarcastically said, "If everyone is rich, who will deliver takeout or tighten screws?" About the housing policy, he joked, "Housing policy isn't about stopping speculation. The more you argue, the more prices go up." This reportedly made the room burst into laughter. On the Yangtze River 10-year fishing ban, he questioned whether it was throwing the baby out with the bathwater. He remarked, "The policies from above are being made by people thinking with their heads, and those below are running around trying to implement them." Each of these remarks reflects common sense and the realities people talk about every day, but when spoken by a senior official, these facts become a crime that challenge the party's narrative. Former professor at the Central Party School, Cai Xia, sharply pointed out that this case clearly shows that Xi Jinping expects millions of party members to act without independent thought, hundreds of thousands of officials to remain silent, and that all party members and officials must fully adhere to his personal will. Independent commentator Cai Xiong'an further revealed the irony of the situation. Zhou De-rui was once a high-ranking official who openly declared that loyalty is absolute, and disloyalty is absolute betrayal. This stance helped him rise in his career, but after a change in leadership, his past expressions of loyalty couldn't save him, and a few candid remarks led to his downfall. This is a vast, intricate system of falsehoods. From top to bottom, everyone is performing, everyone is pretending. Zhou De-rui's tragedy lies in the fact that at a moment when he shouldn't have exposed his true feelings, he accidentally revealed himself. Amid the loud and chaotic victory chorus, there are always some clear voices attempting to cut through the noise. Here's one.
危险的是，今天很多人已经分不清什么是能力。
Have you noticed something dangerous? Today, many people can't tell the difference between ability and performance. You see humanoid robots dancing in sync, performing flashy moves, and the video goes viral. The comments flood in, winning. The other side is stunned. But I want to ask, if a robot can only dance, what problem has it solved? This isn't a robot problem. It's a deeper issue, a civilization that starts treating performance as ability. Looking further back, after Apple built factories, the mobile phone industry exploded. After Tesla opened up, the EV industry thrived overnight. When AI became open source, many breakthroughs appeared instantly. Doesn't that feel off? Why does all this leading only happen after someone else opens the door? Let me ask more directly. If you're truly leading, why panic when the door closes? History already gave us an answer. When the US created the atomic bomb, the Soviet Union quickly replicated it. Many thought, if they can copy the atomic bomb, microchips should be even easier to copy. But decades later, the US was using microchips in precision warfare, while the Soviet Union's microchips were used for toys. Why? It's not that they didn't try, it's because they've been focused on copying homework instead of solving the problem themselves. You'll notice a harsh truth. Copying might help you catch up once, but only evolution can prevent you from falling behind. After witnessing these absurdities, it's hard to take the CCP's claim seriously. The assertion that Iran shot down 6 US fighter jets seems completely unfounded. In a world where misinformation is rampant, those spreading these falsehoods continue to stand firm, despite the glaring contradictions, and the narrative of leading from the front, always right and winning, continues to dominate.